go live. Funny, that ring light in the thing looks like it's out of the painting.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh, I can grab your computer so you have a view.
Yeah.
I can do that while everyone's logging in here.
Okay, I'll talk about the stuff. Yeah, I don't think they'll come out and see.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. You can hear us okay? Let us know. Thumbs up.
All right, very good. Welcome, everybody. We're going to give this a second for a few people to tune in before I go ahead and start taking your questions, but feel free to start posting them now in the comments section. I don't know where else you would be posting them. Okay, do include names of people that you're referring to, living or deceased, including pets. If you're asking about a job or something like that, you're comparing names or at least initials on that. We do appreciate donations. I see some already coming in. Thank you so much. I do want to make a couple quick announcements while we let people log on here. We have coming up this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube, my weekly free mini class. I've been putting out 1 to 2 free mini classes per week since the pandemic hit, called the Quarantine Series. And this week we're doing attachments and possessions. I am seeing an all-time high in paranormal activity, hauntings, attachments, possessions. I've actually had to hire on 3 new people to handle my workload. And this has been increasing over the last 10 years, but really very intensely over the last 2 years. And I think it's time I come out publicly and start talking about it even more than what I have, even though it's considered sort of a taboo topic. It's really scary at times and difficult to wrap our heads around. However, if we don't talk about it, we don't get educated, we can't protect ourselves, and we certainly can't help anyone else. So we're going to break down what exactly is happening with attachments and possessions. Again, that'll be this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube. For those of you that are new to my channel, if you haven't been tuning into any of the free mini classes I've been doing for about 1.5 years now, since the pandemic hit, you could just go to the playlist button and see all the ones that we've done so far. We have done quite a few. I also want to make an announcement that our walk-in night monthly psychic fair, $15 gets you 2 tickets. Okay, so that's 2 readings, 2 healings, a reading and a healing. You can mix and match. Our monthly psychic fairs are 100% virtual from the comfort of your own home and showcase the students and graduates of my Ivy League Psychic Academy. It does sell out every month, so you are going to want to get your tickets in advance at IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com. The link is in the bio. Okay, and that is the 29th, which will be the last Saturday of the month this month. I don't think that's happening. Okay. Let's see. Might be more trouble than it's worth. Do we have good audio and visual here?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right. I'm in a hotel again. There's like water coming down the wall. Not literally, it's a nice place. But I heard it like it was right on me. So yeah, anyways, I'm still in the process of writing and pitching to some publishers, and I'm at a different hotel this week. You guys wish me luck. So far, it's going pretty good. So we're looking forward to it. Some other exciting news. We just got word today that we are officially moving into the funeral home, the old 1800s funeral home that I've been posting about. So officially that move is happening, and we look forward to reopening when we get more vaccinations out there. All right, do we have some questions coming in? Are we ready to get started?
Yeah, we do.
Are
We're looking
you ready?
good. I am, yeah.
Okay, poor Polly. We're having all kinds of having to move everything. All right, very good. So, welcome everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Arawak, and I own a school called the Ivy League Psychic Academy, where I train people internationally in everything, ranging from psychic mediumship to numerology, paranormal work, Reiki, astrology, tarot, children as well as adults, and empathic training. So if you want to check out classes, go to ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com. That link is in the bio. Tonight, what you caught is my Monday night show called Ask Ivy, where I take your personal questions. And we do appreciate donations. Go ahead, post your questions below, include names of anyone that you're referring to, living or deceased, or if you're asking about a lover, first name. And Paul, my adorable producer here, how are you, Polly?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Paul will be getting to as many of those as we possibly can. If you need to book a reading with me, however, you can do that at ivyrivera.psychicmedium.com, or if you want to book an event, do a virtual party or whatever, that link is also in the bio. And if you don't have time to wait for a reading with me, we have Ivy's Healing Call Center, 7 days a week, where graduates from the Academy are available to do a reading or a healing for you. So check it out. Okay, let's get started.
Yeah, okay. We have one here from David. Does my father, Alan, have any messages for me? He's been visiting a lot lately in dreams and waking hours.
So what he's showing me is that you guys may actually look a lot alike through here. There's some talk of scruff or a beard, but also the way the mouth is, the way the jaw is. And he's talking about how handsome you are, which is obviously sort of a pun off himself being good looking. Okay, so kind of adorable. I love his energy. He's very lighthearted about things today, and he is talking about your future, actually. So let's just take a look at that message. It's like you have nose to the grind time coming up. He just shows you with a hammer, like working. And it's interesting because I don't see like a hammer and a nail. I don't see you building something, though technically you will be. It's more like you're chipping away at stone. And so you may feel as though you're toiling over here to the future. And this feels like it already started, the process. And it could be about a year to a year and 6 months of really hard, intensive labor. He's talking about the next 6 to 7 to 8 months, you really having to focus in on that. And it's almost like when you're chipping away at a rock, you may say, oh, what's the point? But he makes me feel as though you're exposing this beautiful sculpture underneath. And so it's almost as though there's something in that rock that needs to be told as a story. It needs to be seen. It's like a statue that will be coming out, and you're like the artist, you know, you're the worker right now, and it's important to stay focused on that and to stay positive about that. He's giving you the strength, the endurance, and the wisdom to see your way through it, and he's very, very proud of you. He loves you very much, and he's funny. So, yeah, you'll be hearing more from him for a while. Yeah.
Very good. This one is from, I may butcher this, T-May, maybe?
T-May, okay.
T-Y-M-M-E. Do you see my husband Jerome and I working things out, or should I move on?
I would move on. I would move on for a few key reasons. I'll say 3, but I might lose track of what I'm thinking. Okay, so bear with me. I feel like, first of all, okay, what they're talking about here, meaning your guides and ancestors, is that this isn't helping you grow. The second thing they're talking about is that it's inhibiting him from growth because he needs to be on his own and have some... Also, it feels like consequences, and there have been no consequences. There's no accountability. There's no responsibility. And so it's almost as though you're an enabler. And the third reason is your prosperity. And so you basically either have none or it is on hold. You may be feeling as though your prosperity is stagnant. And don't forget, when I talk about prosperity, I'm not talking about cash value. I'm talking about health. I'm talking about well-being. I'm talking about relationships. I'm talking about happiness. I'm talking about development. You know, I'm talking about travel. I'm talking about everything, prosperity. You know, there just isn't any. And so it's like he's this big anchor holding you down. And I would, if I were you, cut that thing loose.
Okay. This one is from Susana.
Susana, okay.
I'm currently working as a direct support for adults with disabilities, and I was wondering if I will have a change in my career.
I think you're going to have to create it. You have a grandmother coming here, Mom said, who has a big energy about her, and she makes me feel like it's time to push. I think that you are picking up on some tools, some skills there. We could say that you're there with, I don't want to say this. There's purpose for you being there because it is advantageous to you, but for a very limited time. And once you've gained what you're supposed to, it's as though it goes sour or it just becomes really stagnant in its growth. Anything that would be offered to you after that is all that glitters is not gold scenario. Just because things are offered to you, just because people approach you doesn't mean you should take them. A lot of things are distractions. A lot of things approach us to pull our focus away from where we should actually be going. And I feel that this position in particular for you has that ability to do so. Now, it doesn't have that power over you. You would have to give up your free will. You would have to give up your power in order to make it be so, of course. But I feel you're being easily tricked. And I think that it's important that you keep your mind set, as your grandmother is saying, on your ultimate goal. And this doesn't feel like you're working in the capacity that you really want to be. I think you want to be more involved. I think you want to have more liberty, creativity to do what you feel is right, to be able to help people, to be able to expand and grow this, like whether it's a movement or it's a company, and ultimately leadership, and leadership that pays, not leadership where you're bogged down by 6 other things that aren't necessarily helping you grow in any way or helping the movement grow in any way. It's just extra work. It's extra work at no extra pay. And so I think there's a lot to look at here.
All right.
But you have to go get it. It's not going to come. You have to go out there and take it.
Okay, this one is from Angela.
Angela.
I just recently started a physical relationship with my friend Jack. What can I do to make sure our bond continues to be fun and flirty?
I don't think that's going to be a problem here. Don't try. Don't try. That probably sounds sloppy, but don't try. It already is that, and so by trying, you kill it. I'm just going to leave it at that. Don't try it. Let it be what it is. You're overthinking it. You're overthinking it. It's going to get weird if you keep overthinking it.
Yeah. Okay. Whoops. Wrong button here. That was fast.
I tricked you.
You did. Tricked. All right. So we have one here from Christine.
Christine.
Do you see me getting my Christmas ornament from my godfather Gene that has passed back from my ex-boyfriend?
Well, no, and then if you do, okay, which means that there are alternate possibilities for this. And when there are alternate possibilities for something, it technically falls into a free will zone. So I have to look at all the possibilities of what might happen. The highest likelihood as of today is no. And I feel that he uses it to be manipulative. I think that when and if you do, which is another possible alternative, based on his free will, which means he can manipulate this and make it untrue or true. I think that you might get it damaged. And I think that it almost reminds me of like opening your door and seeing it on the doorstep damaged, or pulling up to your apartment or something, or having it like on your car, or something like that. And I think that the other alternative to this is that it's possible, and this is the least likelihood, but it is still a possibility, is that he will leave it for you as an opportunity to, it's called the hoovering technique. Google it. If you're not familiar, it's like a narcissistic technique. It's one of the 12 tools that they use to suck you back in. So it's possible you will get it. As of today, I feel like he's not ready to pull those tools out. He sees everything as an opportunity to manipulate in one way or another. And right now is not like his time frame. So.
Okay, we have one from Millie.
Okay, Millie?
Yeah. should I get into skateboarding, and would it be good for me?
I do feel like it would be good for you. I also see you playing tennis or volleyball, or I see you playing some other sports too. But like these have balls involved, and I think that it's almost like a game of catch. So like your hand and eye coordination is really good. And it reminds me of people who snowboard versus people that ski, right? It's a completely different kind of balance. And so you may be good at things like skateboarding, dancing, and then this hand-eye coordination that would be involved with something like hitting the ball in volleyball or directly with a racket. And so I see him doing more of this over the next, I would say 2 to 5 years, increasingly so, if you choose to, and taking a lot of pleasure in it. I do think also with the skateboarding, it's almost like you attract some attention. So I feel that you may get involved with a group of people, other skateboarders. This was huge in the 90s. And they're, if it's still anything similar, I'm old, but it's very much like this very open-minded, sort of free-spirited group of people to hang out with. They're kind of like, the modern hippies of like yesterday. And it's this great energy collectively, like as a community, you're like, this is your tribe. And I see other people watching you also from the sidelines, which is going to mean that you're either really good at it and or you are also encouraging other people to get up on the board. And I like that a lot. Yeah.
Okay. This one is from Mia.
Mia?
My name is being called in my sleep and waking me up. I also will be awakened by a knock in my front door, but no one is there. What's happening?
Okay. So, we might want to do some boundary setting. You may want to do a cleansing. I didn't think much of it when you said that you're being woken up because between 3 and 5:30 in the morning is the haunting hour. So that's a time of activation, especially for mediums, but it's internationally recognized. It's sort of everybody has activity during that time. We also see between those hours pineal gland being activated, third eye opening, crown chakra activated. All these things are about channeling, intuition. And so it's not at all uncommon to see. When I hear the knocking at the door, I start to feel more of a menacing energy with that. Nobody should be disturbing your sleep. And those spirits that come with great intention would be stealing your rest by knocking on anything. I have other reasons for not caring for the knocking. I won't get into that, but I do think it's a great time for you to do a cleansing on your house. If you need to book paranormal consultation with me, feel free to do that. However, I do have a free mini class up here that should help you through the process enough. And it's nothing anybody can do for you. You don't need to involve other people. You cleanse your house yourself, okay? So go on to my playlist under the mini classes and look for a class called, what did I call it? Clearing, how to cleanse.
The cleansing
I think
training.
I did another one called Hauntings, Clearings up here. And I have a class, a full 2-hour training, a real class called Hauntings, Clearings, and Detachments. And you can get that up on the website at ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com.
It's funny, right? These have evolved into real classes, all of them. I love that, it's just the mini classes have now become
The mini classes are little bite-sized samples of real classes that I have in full curriculum up on the website. Absolutely. So for those of you that are like, oh, these free mini classes are great, this is actually meant to lead you into something much more detailed. So yeah, check out the Academy. There's a whole school of thorough trainings. Not to say the mini classes aren't great, but they're just little tidbits of information.
I want to take a second here to thank some of the donations that have come in. There's David, Susana, Time, Alex, Rose, Mia, Millie, thank you so much, and Angela and Christine said thank you, and a few others that I've missed the names.
Thanks so much, everybody. Absolutely. Donations are appreciated. And also, before we get into some more questions here, I forgot to ask you guys, if everybody could right now, hit that like button, give this a thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe if you like what you're seeing here. Also, if you want to become a member for behind the scenes extras, your monthly horoscope, direct spirit messages, all kinds of stuff, you can hit the join button and look at the 3 different tiers of membership options.
Okay. Excuse me. This one is from Nicole.
Nicole?
Says, why do I have these feelings towards my ex Tank? It makes me depressed.
Yeah. When we have a soulmate connection, or we have a karmic contract with someone, they come with cords attached. When we have cords, we can't break them without an actual cord cutting, which means this person's energy can influence you voluntarily and involuntarily, and you can influence this other person's energy the same way. So if they're going through a change, if they have a new lover, if they're going through a difficult time, whatever it is, you feel it as though you two are still completely connected. And they can also haunt you in your dreams. And so at night when you try to sleep and you finally have an escape from all this interference, it gets even worse. It's sort of like an addiction or obsessive tendencies, but it's legitimate. It's actually due to the courts. It's not in your head. You're not going crazy. And it is the type of thing that you want to monitor, see how bad it is, and if you really want to cut loose from it because the relationship is toxic and unproductive, you have a right to do so, and you should. Check out my relationships, boundaries, and cord cutting class up on my website. The link's in the bio. That's a great question. None of you have to put up with this.
Okay, this one is from Janelle.
Janelle?
Can you please help me if I should divorce my husband, John?
Well, that's a free will zone question for you. I can tell you what my opinion is, but ultimately it's up to you to examine whether or not this would qualify as self-love. Would it qualify as self-care? Is it you being responsible? Are you holding yourself accountable? And I think that this relationship has taken such a toll on you. I feel oddly, and don't take this the wrong way, but it's almost like this relationship has aged you 20 years. And I'm sure you're gorgeous and all that. I'm not talking about this, okay? I'm talking about energetic drains. It's like, I mean, when they say ball and chain, I mean, this is it. I mean, this is like, this will make anyone run for the hills and not want marriage. You have worked so hard to get nothing back. You are in a place in your life right now where you could be taking advantage of so many benefits, so many blessings that you can't have in this situation. So ultimately, it's up to you and your free will, but I think you really need to ask yourself, how much should one person sacrifice of themselves, of their happiness, their joy, their health, their well-being, their energy to someone else, and for what? For what? What are you getting out of this? Mm-mm. Yes, I would leave.
This one is from Kathleen.
Okay.
Why don't my relatives come to me in my dreams? Mom, Dad, Jackie, and Phyllis.
Well, I'm hearing from Mom, Dad, and Jackie that they do, and you don't remember it, or you're not paying attention to it. Check out my dreams class. I talk about vivid dreams, and I talk about a bunch of other dreams, and how to stay in touch with your dreams once you're awake so that you don't lose it, because they are hard to remember and track. There is a definite attempt for them to reach out to you in this way, but you don't have to act like that's the only way to communicate with them. Your mother in particular and Jackie communicate through something called clairaudience, which means they ring your ears, you get the tinnitus, you get the pressure in the ears, and they put thoughts in your head. They put songs in your head. They send you little sayings. And so this is happening all the time. They also speak through other people. So that could be social media, that could be movies, that could be people that you cross paths with. Your dad, on the other hand, he says he communicates with you through technology. So flickering lights, your phone acting up, numbers he uses. So number patterns follow you. There are a million different aspects to the lost language. I would recommend the psychic mediumship course to you. You're looking at one thing. You're just looking at dreams. And not everybody uses dreams. Some of these people do. You're not understanding that language anyways because you're not even able to remember them. So I would just move out of that and start looking at all the other options of communication that are also happening.
Mm-hmm. This is from Lexi.
Lexi.
Should I reach out to my friend Peyton and try to rekindle our friendship?
Nope. This person isn't ready and receiving. I'm not sure what happened here. It would take too long to break it down in 3 minutes. You know what happened. I think you have a pretty clear understanding of what happened. But let's just say that there is a bit of reservation, a lack of sort of trust and ability to authentically open up. And a lot of this could just be added to by life circumstances. Okay, so sometimes we become less trusting of others because of things that have happened in our lives. There are a few different reasons that this relationship, if approached right now, could end up being painful for you. And I think that what we want to do is allow for it to happen naturally if it should. I also think that you need to be putting more focus on the future and less on the past. It's sort of like forget everybody, forget everything, move forward. What kind of people do you want to have in your life? You need to focus on the manifestation aspect of making yourself ready for those kind of people. So if we want loving, supportive, really cool friends that are growing and adventurous and doing stuff in the world and with their lives, we need to be that person. And that's law of attraction. So just be the person that you want to attract, and it's naturally going to happen. And let this go.
Okay. This one is from Bernadette.
Bernadette?
Yeah. What is the role that Charles will play in my future? Is he a friend or more?
That's not really a straightforward answer on that. I think that I personally would qualify it as more. I think that you can let him in to be more if you want to. What I see is possibilities. And the biggest possibility, let's just focus on that one, is that he's there as a friend, but he also seems to come in and fix things. He also seems to come in and want to help you. He seems to come in and there's this great sort of healing energy about it at different times. And that could be also about the two of you connecting, whether it be like in the bedroom or this be in relation to the idea of what kind of romantic partner we may want to have. But he also seems to come in with a light energy and is somewhat detached at different times. I feel that you may be the one who chooses to keep him in that space. And so he may have a lot going on that he needs to deal with in his life. And because of this, I don't feel like this would sort of be your traditional, like, we are ready to come together and build a long-term bond or necessarily get married or, buy property or things like that. It seems to me that he's still dealing with that stuff over here to the future. And so because of that, you're a little cautious about how much you allow him in. And I think this has a lot to do with you not wanting to get comfortable with somebody who lets you down. Okay, so this is all really up to the two of you, but I feel the potential for more here, but not without that hard work. Okay, or else you have to kind of keep him on the sidelines. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what he does. Okay.
This one is from Sarah.
Sarah?
Will I ever find a way to get out of my marriage with Paul safely?
Safely?
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, safely. I don't know if there are 2 kids or 3. There seems to be some other baggage here. Those could also be entanglements, okay, that make it complicated. I think that you're going to have to be determined to have follow through and have the help and support that you need and to not go back. I also feel that you need to have some kind of like paperwork trail. And I know how useless the police can be in this, right? But you have to have, whether it be a legal paperwork trail, law enforcement paperwork trail, keeping calendars of traumatic events that occurred and ways that he did damage and manipulation. You need to track everything carefully. And obviously that's not something that you want to have, at the house. You want to have it in a file that he can't get at or something like that. And so I think that that's going to be important going forward, because then that allows for people in positions of authority to give you the protection that you need from him. And I think that you need to do this quick, like a Band-Aid is what it looks like. And so it's like you need to have everything set up and then you just, do it. I think one of the mistakes that you've made in the past is that you let things drag out, you hem and haw, and then when it becomes difficult, you get rattled and you decide not to go forward with it. He has far less power than what you might realize if you do this the right way. So yes, I do. I don't necessarily feel a time frame on it because I think it should have been done already. So it's like you're over the deadline for doing it, but I would not be surprised if you could successfully do this within the next 3 weeks to 3 months.
Okay, this is from Christina. Do you see me having kids soon? Later? Never?
Well, again, that's free will. That's up to you. The kids could come and you could choose to send them back, but you have a million options here. So do I see you doing it? It's really not only up to your free will, it's up to their free will as well. So what I do have over here are 2 children who are interested in coming through. I see a boy and a girl, but the girl being taller, which can mean that she's in charge or that she chooses to come through first. They can make a liar out of me at any time. They can switch up gender or birth order. But I feel that the highest likelihood today is that you would be doing this within the next 3 to 5 years based on their contracts. So when we talk about bringing children in, we want to work with their timeline, not ours. You seem to not have one, so that's perfect. You are kind of, open to possibilities. That's a very wise way to go about bringing through children. I think that if you were to open up to this possibility in a significant way, like you stop using protection, you go willy-nilly, whatever, I think that we could see the first one coming in within a year. And I would not be surprised if the second one would follow up about a year after that. So it almost looks back to back. They technically don't come through as a set of twins, but I would also not rule that out as a possibility. We are at time, everybody, so I will see you back here for our free mini class. That's going to be Wednesday at 8 p.m. That's attachments and possessions. Difficult topic, but we're going to get into it. It is increasing rapidly in the last 2 years, and it's time we get educated on how to protect ourselves from it and help others get out of it. We also have... what was the other thing I was going to announce here? Oh, my short story, episode number 10, Time Travel, just went up here on YouTube. So check it out. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week. Thank you, Paul. Thanks, everyone, for the donation. Feel free to subscribe and hit that join button to become a member. Have a great night. Thanks, Spirit.